this is a dude that we talked about, and amongst every other guy we're going to talk about tonight. We talked about him already a million times, I feel like. But Ashton Gillotte, guy's relentless. Just a dude who wants to get to the quarterback, and that's something we talked about. We wanted that. We wanted a guy like this. Hence why we had him as a highlight prospect. What was your thoughts on this third round selection?
Man, look, I told you once I seen this guy on film, I felt like this is a guy that we needed to have for here at the Chiefs. He's just a physical human being. And when I'm telling you this, I'm saying that he comes out, he plays hard each and every time. He's going to hit you. When I was talking about when they were saying on kick-out blocks, when guards try to come and kick him out, he spins the guards around. That's what he does. He plants them over in the backfield because he's just generating that much power. He's got a wrestling background. He's very strong. We know that. I told you he got that flowing hair, man. He's a smart kid, but he's opposite of George Karlaftis. Those two are two relentless guys, high motor guys who are coming to go get it. A little bit bigger than George. I think he's going to work well for what we do. Bring him in, for different, pass rushes. He can be stout against the run as well. That's another thing. He can anchor. And so that's what you want to be able to do. So they can't reach him to the outside. So that does a lot for our linebackers. It does a lot for our defensive line. If you got a guy right here that you don't have to worry about getting reached because he's just not going to let you. Why? I mean, look at them big old arms right there. So getting his arms on, he's throwing somebody out the club. That's just the way it works. So I don't know if any of y'all ever seen somebody get thrown out the club, but it is a violent thing to see. He looks like he's done a whole lot of it, man. When you watch him on film, he looks like a bouncer out there. So Gillotte, man, I like him. His production was stellar out there at Louisville. Did a great job, but I'd give this right here. I'm actually going to give him also a B+ on this as well. So he's our guy. He fits what we want to do for Spags. He likes it. I love it. So
B+. What was because I know with Norman Lott, it's a little smaller. What will be the kind of the downside to the Gillotte? That's not giving him an A. I would say.
Man, B+, Marcus. You know how I grade. You know how I grade, brother. I mean, this ain't nothing new to you. Getting the A is you're gonna have to be, right up there. But B+. I mean, that's about as good as you get. Especially for somebody like me. And I always look at it like this, Marcus. I always tell you this, especially like defensive tackles or defensive ends. How would a dude look like going against me? When I'm sitting there and I'm evaluating a guy like this, how am I going ahead and attack a guy like him? And a big, strong dude like this, I know I'm going to bring my lunch pail each and every time. I'm going to go against a guy like that, okay? Nothing but respect for him. The way he plays ball, he plays, that's the Chiefs' way. Spags and them got him for a reason. I think this when they started bringing in, getting the D-line and defensive players, Spags started cooking. And so for him to come in over some of the other defensive ends says a lot to me. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Tej, Gillotte, what do you think?
I'm gonna go B+. It was between a B and a B+. I'm going B+. And it's stupid because I think some of the B was going to come from the consensus saying he could have been around a little later, but that's just so dumb because their board. And, in a draft where you don't pick usually, or every like 20, every 30 picks, if he's like 20 later than he should be in the consensus big board, then pick him then, right? Because he's not going to come back to you. So you have to, especially if he fits what you want in a pass rusher. I graded him up too, because I feel like his floor is really high. I feel the way I feel about him, like I feel about JTT from Ohio State. I just feel like they're long time pros. Maybe not 15 sack guys a year, because there's not many of those guys who can do that anyway every year.
Right.
Those are exotic fruits, man. You can't find those at every grocery store. All right. So That's tough. But it's rare enough to be able to say you're confident in him being a long-term pro. And a long-term pro, the floor, I think that's his floor. I think his floor is a high run defensive D end, setting the edge, high motor. I think an average of like 7 to 10 sacks, which is great, especially if you have a really deep D line, right? You don't need a guy to get you 15 sacks. I think he'll get a lot of pressures, which in my mind, I mean, yeah, sacks more valuable, but they're just more rare. And you know what? You can fall into a sack. Like there are some guys who, I think it was Kyle Kennard last year from South Carolina. I think he had like 15 sacks or something. But like I think half of them were like gimmies, like uncovered or just like
unblocked,
pulled right into him, and he was just like he just sprinted at him and tackled him. Like that doesn't mean anything to me. Like a pressure means more to me than an open field sack where you were unguarded by the tackle. And I feel like a pressure is important. Some of our best Super Bowl clinching defensive plays weren't even sacks; they were pressures. Where quarterbacks overthrew a guy or underthrew them or missed a wide open guy in the end zone. I'm thinking of Brock Purdy. That's important to me. A guy who I feel like is going to get to the quarterback, not necessarily sack him every time. And I feel like Gillotte has that. I think he has that ability just to get to the quarterback a lot. I'll never question his effort. I'll never question just what he gives you out there every time. And that's really important for your second D end, or right now, or third or fourth D end, which is even greater to have. But I feel like I remember months ago when I was watching all these tape on D ends, and Marcus and I were talking about like who to have on the other side of Karlaftis, and I was like, I mean, yeah, everyone wants a 15 sack guy, but if you give me 2 Karlaftises, I'm good with that. If you give me 2 Karlaftises on both sides, just like animals with relentless motors in the sides, and then you have Chris Jones, and now you have like a sack specialist in the middle with him. Yeah. I mean, I'm good with that. You can't. You're not just quarterback's just not going to have a lot of time. We're collapsing the pocket, we're shooting gaps, and we're relentless getting off the edges.
So we got a few questions, just kind of related to what you were talking about here. Niall asks JD, how is Gillotte's skill set different from the other DNs we have?
I think, man, his strength probably sets him apart more so than anything else. Like when you watch him just bench press tackles, like push him back there, like you are absolutely amazed. Like, whoa, look at this guy, and it comes natural, and he generates that type of power and strength relatively quickly, right? Where some guys got to wind up, his is immediately right there, and so a tackle knows as soon as he comes off, he's going to be able to feel his power. So that means he's got to anchor, he's got to do everything he possibly needs to do. Another thing right here, Marcus, backside. They said he almost ran 20 miles per hour, coming down from the backside. That's speed right there. Speed. He's just motoring. So, like you were saying before, he has that just relentless spirit, man. He's not going to give up. So anything backside, somebody cuts back, I'm telling you, he will ring somebody's bell, absolutely take their chin off if they try to cut back, running back. So buyers beware. You cut back, you're going to see that dude right there. Okay, number 9, all right? So Gillotte, man, is not playing around. So I think it's the difference in the skill set in itself, man. So
Niall has a few follow-ups to this. Pretty much the same question. One is this picking an indictment on FAU? And the other one is, who will get more snaps next year, FAU or Gillotte? If you had to guess, if you guys had to give the crystal ball, who's going to get more snaps next year?
Somewhat of an indictment, yes. They need a guy to come in and play immediately right now. And they don't have time to wait. Look, NFL is not about being guys. They're just not. And so they're going to give guys, enough chances to try to do what you can do. And this is also, too, just saying they're pushing FAU to show what he can do. Pure and simple. So I don't know who's going to get the most of, like, the reps-wise. I'll tell you what, we'll find out in camp. But I'll tell you what, this guy right here is coming in, and he's not playing games. He's not coming in to get on the bench. It's not what he's here to do. So he's our third pick for a reason. They got a lot of trust in him, and they should.
We're getting a little pushback here, but B+, we reached for an edge and passed on so many better players. Do you guys think we reached? I don't think we reached. I think this was a need for us, and this is the best edge on the board at that time.
Yeah, I don't know what he's Blake Gould. Blake, I don't know what guys are needed, but we said all year or all season the three we needed: offensive tackle, defensive end, defensive tackle. That was our tier 1 needs, and so there's a guy that the Chiefs needed to get. And you can go other defensive ends. There were some great defensive ends that we've seen that didn't get picked. As Ruke ended up going second round. I thought he was going to be a first round pick. Same thing with Green. Green was another guy who got picked. So they must have had Gillotte up high on the draft board, because there's other defensive ends out there as well. So for me, I thought he might have gone a little bit later, but they went up to go get him. Why? They seen his skill set. They know what he has. So that's easy. That's easy. Spags tell you to take somebody, you better take it. That's what I feel.
So Diaz went after him. Landon Jackson, Unma Mielen, Jordan Birch. I'd say Josiah Stewart. We weren't going to do that. I'd say that's pretty much it for the guys that probably rivaled who we might have taken.
But like even the ones like Azaraku and Green, like, yeah, those guys were high on like the overall boards and stuff. Yes, they're sack phenoms, but like talk about fit wise, I mean, you can make an argument July's more of a fit with the Spag system than the Azarakus or the Mike Greens of the world, because people were talking about, we even said it on the show, and people asked like, well, are those guys really the best fits while they may even the James Pierces of the world? Like, I feel like Gillotte, where we got him and talk about scheme fit, I feel like he fit more to our team than those other guys while they were ranked out higher than him. I feel like he just fits more. And, him and Karlaftis are boys. They train together. I mean, it tells you they want that kind of relentless type at the edge rush. And you have two guys who are going to, kill for that quarterback, which is what you want.
Especially high floor. That's why I like the high floor. And especially when you're taking a chance on Lott and you are taking a chance on Simmons, you need a high floor guy there. You need a guy you know is going to be a pro starting there for a long time. Like, it's good to have those. You need to mix it up. You can't just go all risky players. You can't do that. Like, you can't go all home runs. You need some singles. You need some doubles. You can't just, everything can't be a swing for the fences.
The other guys you was talking about, Jackson and the other guys, Gillotte was a lot more consistent than them. Who led the country in hurries? That was Gillotte. He led the entire country in hurries. So that's why you go get a guy like this.
For sure. There's a reason why you spotlighted him. I mean, you saw the type of edge what he was, and also like the characteristics of this guy, and also like way he's built and all. I mean, he's gonna set the edge. He's gonna be perfect. I mean, like Teja said, high floor, and that's really get on base. That's a get on base type of draft pick move. Yeah, you know what? And he may pan out to be a 15 sack guy. Who knows? But at the worst, I see him being an 8 to 9.
I was giving him a floor at that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I believe we also have a soundbite from Ryan Nutt on this. Have it here.
Ryan Nutt. Someone said that in the chat. I love that. Why not?
The Gillette kid, oh my gosh. I mean, there's a ton of things with him. He plays 100 miles an hour, and he's got crazy power he's got 32-inch arms, but the kid can knock tackles back like nobody's business. So that was exciting. And for us, if you want to be an elite rusher in this league, you got to have a speed to power move, and that kid does.
So Gillette. He called him Gillette there. So for the first one, so there's still the head scouts called him Gillette.
Yeah, but I think he shortened the name. He might we want to call him Gillotte. He may, I don't know.
The Gillette kid.
Hey, I tell you what. Once we get him on the show, how about we'll ask him? We'll find out. I want to hear from the horse's mouth. Like, man, how do you say your name? How about that? Okay.
Yeah. So, I was hoping the mom was going to comment on it to give us the phonetic spelling on it.
Yeah.
All right. So it seems like, and that's the thing too. I'm really happy that the majority of our fan base is really excited for this kid, because it's cool to have that kind of that blue collar type of guy that everyone like kind of really rallies behind. Like how our whole fan base is so supportive and love Jared Allen, and how we feel about Karlaftis. Like we kind of like that kind of guy. The guy's he's gonna go get gritty for those sacks, and love it. Hi everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.